Michelle Stevens?
Yes.
One of the seniors that is living here in the Red Cross building in this area. Mm-hmm. We were here last time. We looked at the situation. You all called us for an interview. Mm-hmm. Tell us, update. What happened since then?
Not a thing happened. They don't come and check. Look at that piece of storm over there. From since after the hurricane, this day. Nobody come and help us. Look at the bush. Look at that. Look at how we're living. Mm-hmm. It's just like in the jungle. Mm-hmm. This is not right. For senior citizens plus Red Cross. In every other country does respect Red Cross. But did they respect it here? Mm-hmm. No.
You have still repair to do inside?
Yeah, man. Come in. The door, it's rotten. It's rotten. Look at the light over here.
How long that been like that?
It's about almost a year.
After this interview here, or you pray to God it don't rain because you don't get wet. And or you could go out there, take out picture, how the zinc in them, a lot of the zinc rip off gone. Up there, all the foam off of that, those 3 major roofs there, gone. They got people crying to Housing Foundation for windows and doors get mashed up, and they ain't coming because they don't care. But what I notice, what Housing Foundation do, owe them a month's rent, whether it's 200 or 300 guilders, right away you get in the paper. That they don't forget. You're getting it right away. I don't understand the system here, boy. And then they say they want the Dutch come in here. God forbid them. Nothing is being done here. Nothing. And they don't like me. And I don't go by Housing Foundation. Because ashamed there's grown-up people to put to work there. They ain't put no kindergarten children to run Housing Foundation. Grown-up people what could understand English, Dutch. Some of them can understand papiamento. Some of them can understand taki-taki too. There's not illiterate people. And they don't come in here. And why they don't come? I say they hate this place. Nothing at all is being done here. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. If I had money, I'd carry the government courts and get rid of that whole crew there. Get rid of them. Hold, bond, dunder up. Hail, eat the rain, the right. Nothing is being done here. I have an appointment with the doctor now. They tell me the 27th of September. Like they don't care. Not SVB don't care neither. And my doctor car saying 100%, and I could understand, read English, Dutch, papiamento, Spanish, everything. Nothing is being done. Even SBB treating us worse than animal in here. Bring them here in front of us. That way you must do. Bring them here and let them confront me. I don't go nowhere, miss. Where are you going? Who going to employ me?
When we bring them, you going to eat them?
No, I'm not going to eat them. But then let them talk the facts in front of me. Because I don't go nowhere. And I know when they come here. The first time they come here, if you ask them to fix something in a house, they tell you they only go fix. If it's an electrical thing, a bulb or what, they go fix it. Or if a water leaking, they go fix it. Otherwise, they ain't touching the building. Yeah. You know what's so sad? It had a few people move in here, not recently, 1 or 2 years ago. And you know what Housing Foundation do with us? Clap us 75 guilders a month for under house. And they don't come here and not nail a nail, they ain't come and check. Go inside my house there, they got cartoon doors, cardboard doors in there, in my house. They break up because from time they build here. And we got to pay 75 guilders for maintenance fee. And they don't come here. Like we's non-existent. But the 75 coming out though. And if you don't pay your rent, the paper come in there. They send it via the mail, you know. They're taking one, the workers come wrong and sneaky. I don't know if they'll come 4 o'clock in the morning and sneak it in your mailbox. And that's the kind of attitude, a Gestapo attitude they got. And there's nobody you go to. Because minister never come in here and sit down and interview us to find out our needs and what's the problem in here. And I find its advantage. Imagine you getting 500 gallon pension and they're taking out 200 and something gallon for rent and plus the 75 gallon on top of that for maintenance fee. Man, come on. Have a heart. Where are we going? And that's why every month you have people in here crying. But I wish it was the end of the month. And when you collected the 30th or the 31st, you know what happened? The second of the month, you better put our family here to call them up and ask them, bring something for you. It don't reach. The pension does not reach. It's impossible. The pension don't reach. And those people ain't got no shame in Housing Foundation to tell you, you got to pay 75 guild. Not you got to pay. You got to sign that paper, otherwise you don't get in here to live. That's a Gestapo attitude, and I just don't understand it. Who you going to go to?
For your mom to get an apartment downstairs because of her condition. She's still up here. What happened?
Yeah, she still is. A reason why I think is downstairs doesn't have like a 1 bedroom available. They only have the studios, and where she is here is a 1 bedroom. That's the reason why. But actually, they themselves, I don't think they ever came up here. Of a long time they came up here then to really see the situation up here. But my concern has been, and it still is, that when you drive by in the night around the Red Cross houses here from the seniors, it is dark. It is dark outside, by the gate, in the hallway, in front. As you could see, the bushes around, which I find is like very dangerous. You know, whoever could be hiding behind those bushes, you know. It needs a lot more lightning. The lighting is very, very poor. I think that they should come up and just, you know, keep up with the place. Maintenance and those kind of things need to be in order. I don't know if Mommy Place doesn't leak. That's one thing. But I think the places overall should be maintained, looking like, you know, welcome, making the seniors feel welcome, making them feel, you know, appreciated. Right now, it's just like you take them and you put them in a corner and you forget about them.
Question.
Okay, Wakariba. Wakariba? Wakariba. Why? Yes. So we need lights.
Right.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NVGEBE.
It's been said that behind every door, possibility awaits. How much possibility depends on which door you open first. Every day, we help our customers discover the possibilities in their lives. It all starts with a conversation. Scotiabank. Discover what's possible.
Two weeks ago, we have requested a meeting with the Ombudsman on the recovery investigation started by the Ombudsman. The meeting was held yesterday, and as Consumer Coalition, we were given the opportunity to share with the Ombudsman our concern with the recovery process. We commented to the Ombudsman for the initiative to start a systemic investigation on the situation 2 years after Irma in the different neighborhoods and the response of the government service so far. We informed the Ombudsman that the investigation of the recovery process after Irma should include an analysis of the implementation of 3 international action plan on disaster risk reduction, especially after we have experienced Hurricane Lewis in 1995. These United Nations adopted international action plan are the 1994 Yokohama Strategy and Action Plan for a Safer World, the 2005 Hyogo Framework for Action 2005-2015, and also the 2015 Sendai Framework for Disaster Reduction 2015-2030. The Sendai Framework is the first major agreement of the post-2015 development agenda with 7 targets and 4 priorities for action. Not only the St. Martin government role in the disaster risk reduction after Hurricane Lewis, but also the role of the Kingdom government has to be evaluated. St. Martin is not a state, but an island state, the Kingdom of the Netherlands, and of the Kingdom of the Netherlands. And if we were primarily independent states who came up with the International Action Plan, and states were called upon by the United Nations resolution to take measures to prevent the loss of life and assets when natural disaster like hurricanes or earthquake hit to reduce disaster risk. We requested the Ombudsman to consider the human right to adequate housing. If according to official government, which is ROMI, and World Bank estimate, 70 to 80% of more than 19,000 home units were damaged during Hurricane Irma. This means that the human right to adequate housing for the people in this part of the kingdom was not realized by the Antillean government, nor by the St. Martin government, nor was the right to guarantee by the Kingdom government. When the Kingdom of the Netherlands in 1975 ratified the International Convention of Economic, Social and Cultural Rights, according to the Charter of the Kingdom, it was a Kingdom affair to guarantee the realization of all human rights within 5 years of the ratification. In other words, when Lewis struck in 1995 and now that Irma hit us in 2017, the conclusion is that 2 disasters were caused by 2 hurricanes because the Kingdom of the Netherlands did not guarantee the right to adequate housing in this part of the kingdom. We draw the attention of the Ombudsman that poverty eradication is still not realized at this part of the kingdom. The government of St. Martin 2018-2020 has eradication of poverty and a paragraph, but the only measure mentioned is a study will be done to determine the poverty line. The National Recovery and Resilience Plan, which has been labeled the Roadmap for Development of St. Martin for the coming 7 years, also does not have poverty eradication in the plan to reduce disaster risk. The training grant program in the NRRP is a poverty alleviation program. Making persons employable is not sufficient for poverty eradication. Based on the household budget survey of 2015 and the most recent labor force survey of 2018, 9 out of 10 households do not have more than 4,000 guilders a month to survive. Government uses this 4,000 guilders as a criteria to decide if you qualify for home repairs. The more than 13,000 households in St. Martin living in poverty cannot build back better and stronger because poverty is a violation of the right to adequate standard of living for oneself and one's family. Article 11 of the International Convention on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights. This shows, again, neglect of the Kingdom government to eliminate poverty one of the major social risk of disaster. The Dutch Trust Fund, therefore, is insufficient to build back better and stronger adequate social housing. Neither is it sufficient to guarantee an equal social protection flow in the kingdom, which eradicates the poverty in St. Martin.
Hey ma, how you doing? You busy?
I hear, just paying some bills, taking care of business, you know what it is?
I know, you're doing your online banking.
I don't have to stand in those long lines to pay bills. I can transfer when I want. I can check my account wherever. It's like the bank open 24/7. I even here checking the statement right now as we're talking. How's Miami?
Well, that's why I'm calling. I'm finishing up a few songs now, but I'm afraid that studio time might be more than I thought. And I was wondering if I could get some help with some funds, and I could pay you back as soon as I get back to St. Martin.
Let me check my account. How much you need?
I think 500 should be enough.
I can transfer it to you while online. Direct from me to you. No problem.
Great. Thank you so much, Ma. I'll get online with Viv now.
Alright, darling. You know who you're for? I need to know who you're for.
Contact WIB today for your complete personal online banking experience. Available for all mobile devices, the Wynwood Islands Bank, now your online banking partner in progress.
For the Prime Minister, you spoke of the dire situation at the dialysis department at the medical center and that patients are being referred to abroad for treatment. Approximately how many patients have so far been referred to abroad for treatment? And was it brought to your attention as to how soon a solution for the problem will be reached?
Thank you, Stephen Cyrillian. I will start with the latter. How soon will the problem be fixed? The problem will be definitely fixed when we have our new hospital. So it will be able to accommodate the amount of dialysis patients that we have. Secondly, one of the things that were discussed in that meeting that is also important to note is the fact that we have to change the way we are eating. Because if we don't, and it needs to start from in the schools, teaching our children how to eat healthier, teaching our population in general about healthy habits, because in the end, even if we have a new hospital, the numbers will increase if we don't change our habits. And it's a lifestyle change that needs to be emphasized, and a whole campaign needs to come on that. How many persons are abroad for dialysis treatment? I don't want to give a number because I can't remember it, but I know definitely that I think it's less than 10 persons. Let's just put it between that category. But I can get that information for you. But it's not a lot of patients that are abroad for dialysis treatment. And the good thing is that they are looking for solutions and speaking with Friends St. Martin to see how they can find ways to work with Friends St. Martin instead of sending patients abroad for dialysis treatment.
Question is for the Minister of Education. Based on the letter sent to the teachers by the Department of Division Education, you're saying that teachers will not need to at least visit their controlled doctor on day one of the ailment. Do I take it that the idea of one visiting the house doctor prior to visiting the controlled doctor is eliminated from the educational system?
No, thank you for your question. It's not eliminated, but teachers and educational staff, once they report sick to their particular school, they will need to go to the controlling doctor. And that's according to the policies that have been established. Now, they can do that via their house doctor, but they will need also to present a statement that they're sick from the controlling doctor. And this comes after several times that they have been sick during the school year. After 3 days, many teachers and many civil servants are to report to the controlling doctor, but they do not. They go back to work, and after a couple of days, they're sick again. So this kind of eliminates, but it still follows the policy that you need to you can go via your own doctor, but the department needs from the control doctor indication that you are on sick leave.
Thank you, Minister Smith. Prime Minister.
Yes, I just want to go back to the dialysis question. You asked about the number of persons. I confirmed it's 3 persons that are abroad for dialysis treatment. And also just to let you know that the nurses that are taking the course to specialize more in dialysis care, that course will be finished in December.
Thank you, Prime Minister.
If I may.
I will allow a follow-up.
How many nurses are taking the course, Prime Minister?
Of course, you will ask that question. I don't have that. I will have to ask the question and then get back to you. The numbers weren't given. I didn't ask that question.
I also recently had a fruitful meeting with some key stakeholders in the marine sector of our economy. This sector is an essential part of our tourism product. The gross domestic product on St. Martin, or the final value of all goods and services sold during our traditional tourism season, depends to a large extent on the marine industry. Therefore, we must continue to act aggressively to improve the service offered in this sector for the size of our economy to increase. It was essential to meet with the Marine Trade Association President, Mr. Christopher Marshall, a representative of the industry, as it gave me an opportunity to understand their concerns and apprise them of the work being done behind the scenes by the government of St. Martin, and in particular by the Ministry of TIAT. During the meeting, we discussed the need for gathering more information and data on the marine sector as it relates to the impact the marine sector has and its related activities on our environment. The impact study will be useful for investors who are planning to expand their services and also to guide the government in its planning. It is also essential that we review our product to ensure that we remain competitive. We will be looking at things such as the bridge fee structure and the quality of service we provide to our visitors. We will also need to look at the revenue generated from fees collected and compare with other fee structures in the region to determine whether we are indeed competitive. We must also look carefully at our pricing structure to decide whether or not it needs to be adjusted based on vessel sizes, or if we need to reduce the fees to attract more vessels and increase the volume of boats entering our waters. I also listened to the concerns of the business operators in the industry, and while some of these concerns have already been addressed, it is clear that there is still much more work to be done to restore the marine sector to its fully operational function. For example, the marking of channels remain insufficient and lacks proper navigational lighting, and in this case, for both outside and inside the Simpson Bay Lagoon. I have heard the cry of these businesses for the complete removal of wrecks from the 2017 hurricanes, as it presents a safety risk, and let's face it, these wrecks are an eyesore. Some other concerns, such as visa entry requirements for crew members, are already being addressed, thanks in part to the Ministry of Justice. We have also discussed marketing for the marine industry, and I gave a brief overview of the Ministry of TIAT's aggressive marketing strategy, which it will deploy at trade shows in Monaco to attract more business to the island for the marine sector. I want to thank those who attended the meeting for their contribution, and especially thank you for your continued commitment to the overall improvement of service we provide in the marine sector on St. Martin each year. Finally, I've been made aware of the fact that some members of Parliament mentioned my absence in Parliament on Friday, August the 16th, 2019. As such, I have sent a letter to the Chair Lady of Parliament, especially clarifying that I was not invited to the House of Parliament by the members of Parliament. I've attached a copy of the invitation of my colleagues, Minister of Finance and Prime Minister, to Parliament, which did not include my person. Further to that, I've informed the Chair Lady that I'm always happy to attend any meeting of Parliament at their request and should they deem it necessary.